Operation Eagle Eye. In late 1998, with violence escalating in Kosovo between Yugoslav forces and the ethnic Albanian population, the international community struggled to avert another Balkan war. The world had witnessed the horror of ethnic cleansing in Bosnia just a few years earlier, and now Kosovo teetered on that same precipice. The United Nations issued demands. NATO issued warnings. But compliance by the Yugoslav government, led by Slobodan Milosevic, was minimal at best. To hold Belgrade accountable and buy time for diplomacy, NATO launched Operation Eagle Eye, a non-combat aerial surveillance mission that would lay the groundwork for what was to come. Launched in October 1998, Operation Eagle Eye was NATO's attempt to verify Yugoslav compliance with UN Security Council Resolution 11/99, which called for a ceasefire, withdrawal of security forces from Kosovo, and unhindered access for humanitarian organizations. But unlike other NATO missions, this operation didn't involve troops or firepower. It involved eyes in the sky, an unblinking, constant watch. NATO deployed a fleet of reconnaissance aircraft, including U-2 spy planes, AWACS surveillance planes, drones, and various other assets capable of high-resolution imagery and signals intelligence. These aircraft flew missions over Kosovo and surrounding areas, day and night, collecting data on troop movements, artillery placements, and signs of ongoing military activity. The purpose was to verify whether Serbian forces were indeed pulling back, as Milosevic had promised. What made Eagle Eye especially significant was its partnership with the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, OSCE. While NATO provided the technology and air surveillance, the OSCE deployed ground observers, known as the Kosovo Verification Mission, who monitored ceasefire violations, investigated incidents, and coordinated with local actors. It was a rare example of multilateral cooperation between a military alliance and a civilian monitoring body. But despite the promise of transparency and oversight, the situation deteriorated. NATO's aircraft spotted troubling patterns. Serbian forces were not withdrawing as pledged, and attacks against Kosovar Albanians continued. Ceasefire violations were rampant. Meanwhile, the OSCE observers on the ground faced harassment, intimidation, and growing danger. It became clear that surveillance alone would not change the facts on the ground. In March 1999, following the massacre of civilians in the village of Rachak and the breakdown of diplomatic talks in Rambouillet, NATO withdrew the OSCE monitors and ended Operation Eagle Eye. Days later, NATO launched Operation Allied Force, a full-scale air campaign against Yugoslavia. Eagle Eye had done its job. It provided the intelligence, evidence, and justification that NATO needed to act. It exposed the deception and refusal of Milosevic's regime to comply with international demands. Operation Eagle Eye may not have prevented war, but it made one thing clear. NATO would no longer rely on promises. It would verify, it would observe, and when the time came, it would act. The mission stands as a crucial turning point in NATO's use of surveillance as a strategic tool. It was a prelude to intervention, a bridge between diplomacy and force. In the world of modern conflict, where truth is often the first casualty, Eagle Eye ensured that the facts could not be hidden from view. It was, quite literally, the alliance's watchful eye on the path to war.